Fellas, I've been asked quite a few times about suspension, so I'm gonna pull over and talk about this here real quick. It's an oddball one, and here's why. It depends what angle you come at it, right? So, as a Ram guy, or call me whatever you want, I still own quite a few Rams, and I used to daily a Ram, and now I'm dailying this Ford. So on an average daily usage, right? When you compare the Ford, the Ram, and the GM product, they all cover the spectrum pretty good. It's very entertaining, and this is what I was going after for a long time. I finally have the chance to own all three, and I can tell you what. Going down the road, let's just say you're traveling a longer distance, right? The GM stands out. The GM, just on a simple daily, day-to-day cruise, the GM wears you out, whatever you want to label it, has the least, causes least fatigue, right? But when you put the Ford and Ram side by side or right next to each other, they're pretty close, but the Ford edges the Ram a little bit, and I'm talking about like daily, empty pickup, no gooseneck kind of scenario. Now, with that being said, here, hold on a sec. I pulled over to show you the suspension, the leaf springs in the back. With that being said, somehow the Ford sets itself apart from the Ram when it comes to big obstacles, like heavy ones, meaning a good embankment. And what I mean by that, a good dip in the road, a bigger pothole. Ford somehow handles those better than Ram does. Now, I'm trying to be fair and as accurate as possible, and here's what I mean. I used to daily a mega cab, right? And that thing had Bilstein shocks, and that definitely changed that game up on extreme. And I'm trying to go back in my dictionary as far as my memory records go. How did it handle when it wasn't with Bilstein shocks and Thorn springs? Ford takes the edge, which really surprised me. So every day GM sets itself apart, but then when you're talking about heavy potholes and heavy imperfections in the road, something abrupt and something with a good that carries a good punch, GM didn't carry it that well, but the Ford handles that better. Now, when you're loaded, GM did good. I never done anything heavy with this Ford, so I can't speak for the Ford when you're heavily loaded, but I love the way the Ram handles itself when it's really heavy. So that roughness or that extreme of spring rate really pays off at that point. One thing that stood out to me about this Ford is how much suspension, call it travel, or how much distance there is to these overloads, right? A good 4.5 inches there, and then you get your overloads. I mean, that's a lot of travel there, and then you still got to optimize that. Utilize it. So that's that, and I think you got about the same distance in the back. So that being said, kind of interesting. I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to operate and own all of them. For the regular ones, help your brother out. I concluded on these 285 65 20s tires. Falcon, love them. They were surprised. I was blown away with the last one. But do I go with OEM wheels? They're not bad. They look too skinny. It makes the truck look skinny. I want an aftermarket wheel that pops out a little bit, and I know I'll be compromising quality on an average basis anytime you go aftermarket. There's good aftermarket companies. I'm not saying they're all junk or anything like that, but help me out there. Should I go with the OEM wheels and that tire, or should I buy an aftermarket wheel? And here's the catch. I still haven't found one that I'm happy with. I like my gunmetal-ish looking wheels. I'm good with black and milled wheel, but I want the wheel to stand out. I don't want them to look like Steely's going down the road, nor at a distance where it's just sitting there. I like my wheel standing out. Now, that being said, throw it in the comment section. As far as suspension goes, guys, they all shine in their own ways at this point. It's kind of not fair to call it a conclusion or whatever on suspension, but without having the Ford heavily loaded. But given the fact how much that rear end needs to sag to utilize that, it's set up on the softer side. I'm not saying Ram's set up any better. I'm gonna get some airbags on this thing and have a true test on it, load her well, and go there. Anyways, fellas, figured I'm gonna do my best to throw these little videos at y'all and keep y'all posted. If you're new to the channel, go check out my other videos. I just utilize quite a few Ram trucks and hit a rough spot with the 22s. So now we're kind of looking into Fords at this point. I did just sell my Duramax. It was the 17, so first year of the L5P. I was after that specific engine and time frame, meaning 17 through 19s. I got a taste of Allison. I got a good idea of the L5P. Absolutely love the tuning, and then I'm not going to get carried away in this video. I will do a separate video as far as tuning. I have a lot to say about these Fords. Like it's crazy. It's cool in its own way. And I'll tell you what, it looks like it's running out of fuel there. But anyways, fellas, as always, may the Lord bless you. May Almighty find day. Ciao. Till next time.